السلام عليكم، أنا وفاء محمد. النهاردة معانا سيشن جديدة for teachers. النهاردة we're going to talk about teaching grammar to kindergarten and primary stage. Okay? And I had a lot of questions from the teachers with a lot of challenges that they face when they are teaching KG or the primary stage concerning the grammar. Okay, let's start with the first question here. Actually, let me at first state the objectives of today's session. We're going to explore some effective methods for teaching grammar to young learners, including those with learning difficulties. The second thing, we're going to overview and cover how to make the lesson funny and introduce grammar rules clearly and address the needs, different learning styles, and the needs of the young learners. Okay, let's get started. Teaching grammar to kindergarten. First of all, let me ask you this question. Why do we teach grammar? Why do we teach grammar? In the kindergarten, Miss Wafat? Yes, they have grammar in the kindergarten. Why do we teach grammar to the kindergarten?
To allow the
try to
kids
speak.
form sentences in a correct way.
If you wanna participate, raise your hand. Can answer. Okay, go ahead, Miss Mariam.
I think teaching grammar for kindergarten students are very important, is very important to know how to form sentence correctly.
Great, thank you. Mr. Yasser?
Well, for the same reason, because without grammar, we cannot speak correctly and we cannot do anything. So grammar is like the number one thing to learn.
Thank you very much. Miss Amina?
Yes, it's important so they can indicate things around them if they want to say it's a pen, it's a pencil, these are my legs and so on. So it's necessary for them to know or to understand the grammatical forms of this simple sentence.
Amazing, thank you. Mr. Mahmoud, go ahead. Mr. Mahmoud, hello. Yes.
Hello, Ms. Wafat.
Yes, hello, Mr. Mahmoud. Go ahead.
It's important, yes, it's important to teach grammar. It's giving the kids chunks so they can build the language. They can try to form a sentence, simple sentences or something like that. If they want to speak about something or express their ideas.
Okay, so first of all, let me crystallize that. Any language in the world, it's not only the English language, any language, it has its own system. In order to use the language properly, you need to understand its system. What is the meaning of system? What is the system of the English language? The system is how the sentences work. This is grammar. How we pronounce it. This is pronunciation. Okay? So grammar and pronunciation, they are essential. Why? Because simply when you speak, you need to be clear. The grammar, using the right grammar or the correct grammar, it makes your ideas, it makes you express your ideas clearly. Okay, so let's start with the kindergarten. How can we teach grammar to the kindergarten in an easy way? First of all, you need to know that you need to keep it simple. Okay, and you need to focus on the familiar words they learn with you in the class. For example, we have certain structures. We start with this is a, I have a. If you have attended the session with I have made a session about Say It Loud, which is about speaking in the young learners classes. We agreed that we have a kind of speaking which is called formulaic speaking. The formulaic speaking, they start speaking. How do they start speaking? They take the chunks that you teach them and they try to build their own meanings like this. You teach them, this is the phone, this is a shirt, this is the door, this is the window, this is the pen, this is the pencil. So you teach them the structure to use with the essential words or the familiar words they use every day. Every day in the class, they use the word book, they use the word door, they use the word, what else? Pencil, sharpener, eraser, chair, table. They use all of them. When you start teaching them the structure, how to speak about these things around them, it sticks here. But first of all, let's agree. For the kindergarten, starting from KG1 or for the reception stage, it is totally orally. It's only orally. It is not written because you don't have the ability to write some sentences. So it's only about the spoken language. This is a pen. This is my pen. I have a cat. I have a dog. I have a red t-shirt. Okay, we teach them a lot of words. So words are nothing unless you use them in the right way. And you use them in the right way if you make the right sentences. So we give them the essential structures to start using them in their daily life. Okay, so let's move on. There should be a practical example here. You're going to use flashcards or pictures with a lot of, you have a lot of objects, maybe animals, maybe toys, maybe the classroom objects. You hold it up and say, this is a pen. You can use realia. This is a phone. Okay, this is a phone. This is a picture. Okay, and so on. And you encourage the students to start making you say the sentences clearly and they repeat. And remember, repetition and imitation is the first step of learning. That's why the reproductive speaking is essential in the kindergarten stage classes. You need to get them to repeat the structure that you teach them. So first when you say, this is a pen, they say, this is the pen, this is the pen, this is the pen. And later on, when they learn more words, they will start formulating their own meaning. This is a basket, this is the chair, this is the door, this is my pen, and so on. You can ask them to repeat, and after that, you ask them to encourage them to say different sentences on their own. You need to integrate songs with repetition because songs are essential in the kindergarten classes. You need to do that. Okay? Why? Like Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. This is one of them. Or maybe you're going to find a lot of songs concerning the classroom objects. You're going to find some songs concerning the animals. All the topics that they are learning about, you will find a lot of songs. And the songs here, they help you to introduce the language in a funny way. That's it, okay? So this is the first question we had, how to teach the grammar to the kindergarten. You need to make it as simple as possible. Okay, Miss Aya, do you have a question or it's from the previous time? Miss Aya, hello. Howdy. She's not there. Okay, so how can we teach grammar to kids with learning difficulties? First of all, anything in the world that's difficult, you need to break down into little chunks. So, for example, I can never teach them. Let me state this clearly. I used to have difficulty in teaching the student the demonstratives all at once. It will be very challenging because they need to learn the concept of singular and plural first. And after that, I can introduce the demonstratives using this for only one, that for only one, near or far. And after that, I introduce this, these and those. So what do I need? I need to break down the concepts. How can we do that? You teach one grammatical rule in a time in order not to let them feel overwhelming, okay? The next one, there is a game which is the sorting game. What is this sorting game? You can use a colored card to distinguish the different parts of the word. Like the nouns are in blue and the verbs are in, let's say, in green, for example. This is what they use in the Jolly Phonics grammar. Why? Because it's engaging more than sensory channel. They see, okay, they see the colors and they try to connect them to the right part of speech and how to construct the sentence in the right way. Let's do this step by step. You can prepare some colored cards, blue for nouns and red for verbs, introduce each category and give few examples like a verb. Okay, guys, if I do an action, this is a verb. Like jump, and I jump. Read, do like this, or hold the book and do like this. Write, run, and so on. So what's going on there? I am teaching them some verbs. And then you teach them some nouns. What the meaning of nouns? They are naming words. So for example, what's this thing? It's a phone. So the word phone gives the name to this thing. So a noun is a naming word. So chair is an action or a noun. Does it give a name or expresses an action? They will say give a name. Chair is a noun. Girl, action, it gives something I do, or it's a naming word. They will say it's a naming word. Okay, and after that you encourage them, you mix them together, you mix all the cards together and you ask them to classify them. Also, they can have flashcards with the pictures. As I told you, they are in KG1, they are unable to read, so you can have flashcards with the actions, like this boy jumps, okay, climbs, and so on, and they start sorting them in the right way. Okay, multisensory approach, combining visual, auditory, and tactile methods, the hands-on activities, okay? So then how can we make the grammar lesson funny? How can we do that? Yes, Jordan gives us right. How can we make the grammar session funny? Hello?
Can I say?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, Miss Maryam.
Okay, to apply some games. To let the students play a game using مثلا some words on flashcards to set the sentence by themselves.
Okay, that's
or
amazing.
some strategies
Like
heads together to make or to divide the class into groups. مثلا 5 students in each group, and they will help each other to build a sentence.
great, amazing. That's great.
Passing the ball game.
Yes, yeah, Miss Abir.
The ball game.
The ball game, yes, right. Yeah, they hold the game. Whoever has the ball, he can produce a sentence, or maybe tell you the form of the past verb or something like that. It encourages them a lot. We can use, yes, of course, you can use websites like
technology,
Wordwall
yes.
and Quizzes. Yes, of course, yes.
Telling the story by puppets.
Great, using puppets to tell a story and introduce the Lu language. Amazing. It's an amazing and effective way, actually, especially for very young learners and young learners. So let's go for this. How can we make it fun? Fun through games and activities. One of the activities is the bingo. You use images of vocabulary words to match with phrases or sentences. You have the picture and you have the written words. Or you create bingo cards with simple sentences or pictures. You call out the sentences and the student try to cover the correct image or phrases, and the one who finished first say bingo, and so on. Okay, or you can have a role play. Set up a mock shop scenario to practice verbs like I want to buy, and so on, using some language functions like can I have, may I do. The grammar twister is amazing one, and hot potato, amazing. Yeah, Miss Wafaa, amazingly great. Okay. The next one here, we have, you can introduce new grammar rules easily. How can we do that? First of all, let me ask you, how did we manage to learn the grammar of the Arabic language? How did we learn the grammar of the Arabic language?
Through speaking and listening.
Through listening first, and
Yes,
then we
yes,
started
and then
imitating.
to speak.
Yes, great.
Reproduce.
Yes, Ms. Shaimaa, go ahead. Thank you very much, Ms. Abir.
Again, like Ms. Abir said, through imitating our parents or the outside world, that the family, everything is where you hear from out there. You start recording it and you start using it. My son, he does like this. He listen. يعني في وقت معين الفترة اللي فاتت دي هو عنده 4 years old. هو كان ما بيتكلمش قوي بس كان بيسمع كتير قوي، حتى التيتشر بتاعته كانت مستغربة. فجأة لقيناه كان بيخزن كتير قوي قوي قوي
Yes.
قوي، وبعدين فجأة بقى بيقول كل حاجة من زمان.
In the
فده اللي
right
انا
way.
عشته معاه.
Yes.
يس، بقى يتكلم كويس قوي يعني، ويستخدم مصطلحات كبيرة قوي على سنه. فانا كنت
Yeah.
مستغربة وسألت الدكتور، قالت لي هو كان كل ده هو ساكت بيخزن، بيسمعكوا، بيسمع البيت، بيسمع المدرسة، بيسمع اي حد بيتكلم، حتى بقى يقول حاجات اكبر من سنه ما شاء الله. فده اللي انا بقيت احس ان هم فعلا هم في ريكوردينج ما شاء الله الكيدز بيخزنوا اي حاجة بيسمعوها، اي حاجة احنا بنقولها. فده انا
Exactly.
كنت فعلا
Do you
مش
remember when we
ملاحظاه.
said, do you remember when we said that the little ones, the young learners, they learn accidentally. You don't have the intention. Sometimes
Yes,
they
yes,
just, yeah, they just listen and they start recording everything, and all of a sudden they amaze you with the production they have,
yes.
right? Okay, that takes us to something which is young learners, they learn by repetition and they learn accidentally with no intention. So that takes us to the essential part of teaching a language, which is the exposure. What is the meaning of exposure? What is the meaning of
To
exposure?
expose the kids to the language they learn or to
Exactly.
Yes.
the task.
The target language, yes.
In the
Yes.
kindergarten, how can we do that?
By stories, telling stories,
Exactly.
songs.
Ask them
They
some
can listen
questions
to
about their
stories.
daily life.
Yeah,
Songs.
they can listen to stories, they can listen to songs, and they can repeat the chunks that you teach them. And you need, that's why we always say you need to be accurate when you are teaching children, because as Shayma said, they absorb everything you say in the class. So if you say something which is wrong, it will stick in their mind in the wrong way. It will be your responsibility. That's why you need to be very accurate when you're teaching the young learners, specifically the young learners. When they are in, let's say, the teenagers, sometimes they can start correcting your English if they have learned properly. Sometimes they start, yeah, no, the teacher said something. Actually, let me tell you, honestly, even in the young learners used to have this problem. If the teacher at school pronounces in the American accent and I do in the British or vice versa, we have the same problem. Miss Wafa, the teacher said nasty, not nasty, not nasty. Okay, some words that they have different pronunciation in both languages. Okay. That's okay. So let's go for this. How can we do this? First of all, as I told you, visual patterns and examples. Visual patterns and examples, okay? Also, you can use color coding or charts to introduce the grammar rules. For example, as I told you, you can have the nouns in red and the verbs in blue. This is how it goes in some books like the Jolly Grammar, right? The Jolly Grammar, they are decoding everything with a special color, and it helps a lot. A practical example, the color coded sentences. Step by step, you can write a simple sentence on the board, like the cat is running. Use different colors of nouns and verbs and the articles. Encourage the students to create similar sentences, okay, with the color codes. They will amaze you, okay? You can phase out the color reliance as they are comfortable, and they can do this. You can use the relatable context like family, pets, school life, school objects. As I told you at the very beginning, you need to use familiar vocabulary. I don't know why it stopped. Yes. You need to use familiar vocabulary and familiar language they listen every day. And this takes us to something what we call the classroom language. In the class, they get exposed to a lot of language trunks that they need to use in the class. Something like, may I go to the toilet, please? I need to sharpen my pencil. He took my eraser. Open the door, close your book, put away your book, take out your book. A lot of language chunks they learn from day one, no matter they are in the kindergarten or in the primary stage. That's why the golden rule in teaching a language is speak only English. Why? Because if the teacher speaks only English, he gives the student the purpose to use the same language. That's why your language needs to be accurate. Okay? That's it. Let's move on. The next question was addressing the lack of motivation and different learning styles. Actually, let me ask you, how many learning styles do we have? How many learning styles do we have?
Four.
Four. What are
Miss,
they?
do you know
Three,
learning
three.
styles like structures?
Visual,
or,
auditory,
Okay, guys, please,
Miss.
if you, yes, Miss Wafat, go ahead. And then if anyone, if you want to speak, please raise your hand. Go ahead, yeah, Miss Wafat.
ولاء.
What, Miss Walaء? وفاء
Three.
زي
Yes.
حبيبتي.
We have three learning styles: visual, auditory, kinesthetic.
Yeah, kinesthetic. Okay, so we have
Kinesthetic,
visual.
yes.
Visual, it means they learn by seeing stuff. And we have auditory, they learn by listening to things. And we have the kinesthetic, they learn by movement. I need to add writing and reading and writing at the same time. And then after that, we had another theory, which is the multiple intelligence theory. They said that we have 8 kinds of intelligence. What are they? I'm gonna send you something about them later because we're talking about the grammar now. Okay, the eight types of intelligence or the learning styles we have. Whenever you are preparing for a lesson for the young learners, specifically for the young learners, you need to be there need to be a variety of activities. What is the meaning of variety of activities? You need to address their sight, their hearing. They need to touch, they need to speak, they need to move, they need to do a lot of things. If you make this combination of variety of activities in your class, everyone will learn. Actually, the activities will be very engaging and the session will be very fun and the students will be actively learning in the class and the experience will last forever. How can I do that? If you spend more time in planning your lesson and trying to design as many activities as you can, activities that engages all the senses together, your children will learn very fast and they will be motivated. You need to have a lot of competitions, a lot of things. Let me say it in Arabic. الولاد ما يبقوش فاضيين يهرشوا. All the time they have something to do. Okay? Just a second. Okay, Miss Minna, go ahead.
Thank you, Ms. Wafat. How can I do if I don't have any ideas in the class or any activities?
How can
Or we have activities, but it's very old.
You need to design your own activities, yeah, Miss Minna. You can do that, and you can do it in a cheap way. You don't have to spend a lot of money. Okay. So I think there are a lot of activities that you can do and carry out in the class, and they don't have expenses actually. Like you can divide them into groups. You can have flashcards, writing the words, and ask them to start making up the fixing the sentences. Make a sheet.
Okay, I use flashcards or puppets or songs, but I don't have any ideas more.
So tell me about one or two of the activities you use in your class, Miss Minna.
Flashcards, puppets.
What do you do with the flashcards?
I put the flashcard and say مثلا يعني if I have if I teach مثلا a lesson of animals.
Mm-hmm.
I got many flashcards.
Right.
This is a horse. This a goat. This is a cat.
Right.
Okay. And I ask someone and I ask someone in the class. What can you say?
Like I said, you show the flashcards and say, this is a goat. Huh? What's this? You say, this is a cow, and so on, right?
Right.
Okay. You can divide your class. Okay. You can divide your class into groups and give them the flashcards and ask them to make a simple conversation like, what's this? It's a cat. What's this? It's a cow. So what's going on? It's not only about the repetition. You're getting them to be involved and engaged together in an activity. You got it?
Okay.
This is one way of using the flashcards. One more thing you can do, you can write the words on your own. If they are in primary 1 or something, or even in KG2, they learned some sentences. So you can have the sentences written on separate flashcards, like this is a cat, 4 flashcards. These are pens, okay? And you unscramble them and divide them into groups and ask them to make the sentences in the right way. What's going on there? I have collaboration, I have hands-on activity, and I'm activating their knowledge.
Okay.
Okay, this is one way. One more thing, which is you can have some chairs in the middle of the class and say, okay, guys, you go around the chairs. And when I stop clapping or I stop the music, if you use any, if you are able to use some music, you have some flashcards with the words hidden in under the chairs. When you stop, the one left with no chair, he gets out the flashcard and read it. Maybe it's a verb and you need him to make a sentence. Maybe
Okay.
it's a verb in the present and you ask him to get it in the past. Maybe it's unscrambled sentence and they need to do it. So it's a fun way to motivate them to get to learn.
Okay, this that if we in a class, but if we in an online class,
Online
this
classes, يعني the online class
only I
ده
use gamification.
the
Gamification only.
the online class, you can use games all the session. You have word wall, you have quizzes. There is a very nice website which is ISL Games. No, ISL Collective. You can go there and try to find the PowerPoint.
I actually use word wall Kahoot, but Kahoot is not for free.
والله I don't like it. مش عارفة ليه، لله في لله. I have never used it but I don't like it.
والله ولا انا، يعني هي الفكرة فعلا ان كاهوت للاسف اولا مش مجاني، يعني ممكن مرة او اتنين كده، لكن انا حاسة بصراحة ان word wall it's very nice يعني.
Word wall amazing, but you need to search right, okay? So let's proceed. Ways of addressing the lack of motivation. You have to have gamification in your class, like we had examples of this, okay? So let's get what we have here. You can cater to all learning style: visual, auditory, kinesthetic, and tactile. The practical example, the word hunt. What is the word
Miss
hunt?
Wafاء, can I say something? I'm so sorry for the interruption.
Sure, يا
بس انت قلتي يعني very important word اللي هو is you have to search right. How can I search right
I'm gonna
on
show you.
word wall?
Can you keep this question in mind till the end of the session? We still have
Okay.
Okay, and then I'm gonna show you the website and how can you try to find the right activity for your students, okay?
Thank you so much.
Not only
Okay.
word wall, also quizzes. And I'm gonna tell you a very tricky thing. You can use ChatGPT and make a very nice quiz in no time, okay? After
Okay.
at the end of the session, okay? Don't forget. Let's go step by step. You can hide some flashcards around the class. Okay, and you ask the students to try to find these cards around the class or maybe outside if you're allowed. And after they do that, they say the word and they make the action. Or maybe you ask them to make a sentence using the verb or using the noun they have found. You get it? So a lot of things you can do out of one game. Yeah, and you can use the game in different ways. So you can use it just, okay, this is jump. So can you act it? Yes. Is it a noun or a verb? They say it's a verb. Or on higher level, what's this? It's jump. Can you make a present continuous tense? Yes, I am jumping. And he starts jumping and say the sentence. So a lot of ways you can... Okay, that's very nice, Miss Sarah. I'm so honored you're here. Love you. Okay, and let's move on to the next question. All things here, they are taken from your own questions. Okay, the next one. What are the first steps for teaching them? Who can tell me? I told you at the very beginning, you can start with familiar contexts. Like what? As I told you, at the very beginning, we teach them the items of the classroom, right? The classroom items, right? So we start teaching them through that. Actually, if you have just a second. Oh my God, what happened? If you have a course book, you're gonna find that all the course books and the English language, whether they are from Oxford or they are from Cambridge, you will have all the topics that they are the same. Do you agree? Most of the topics are the same. For the kindergarten, they start with teaching them about themselves, and then they start extending this to learn about the class, learn about the family, learn about the neighborhood, learn about the country, right? This is what happens. So you need to, that means they start with the familiar context. So for example, I have taught them the classroom objects, like this is my bag, this is my chair, this is the door, this is the window, and so on. What's going on? What's the next step? Do you remember when we said in a lot of previous sessions, I said that whenever you're teaching English, you need to teach it in a chunk. The vocabulary, you need to teach it in a chunk. What kind of a chunk? A sentence or a phrase, a simple sentence like, this is the cat. Do you remember at the very beginning when I said you get a chunk and then they start using it first by repetition and then by formulating the language in their own ideas. So you can start with vocabulary and context they know. Then you go ahead, use the picture book with familiar images, describe what they see, encourage them to identify the subjects and the verbs slowly. This is for the, if you go for the American context, the American schools, we teach the students the parts of speech. We don't teach them present simple and verb to be and so on, no. We teach them the parts of speech, noun, verb, subject, the full sentence, which is a full thought, okay? What are the fragments? Gradually, they learn all about this because they are learning punctuation marks. And I can never teach them the punctuation mark for like, oh, for example, unless I teach them this is the full thought, like, I am Wafa. Oh, this is a full thought. So who is the subject of the sentence? What is the sentence about? It's about I, which is I. I. And where is the verb? It's am. And the completion is Wafa. Yes, yeah, Mr. Mahmoud, do you have a question?
Yeah, regarding this point, yes, as you said, just like parts with speech and the grammar, it can take it easily. Like, for example, punctuation, it can take the
Right.
exclamatory
Yeah,
alone, and then they can take like period or full stop. This is
right.
then something separately. Question mark, the difference between a statement and a question. How can I use it? We use it like this. You just
Yeah.
take it step by step. Yeah,
Yeah, they don't learn like the national schools actually. So
yeah.
you get this. Then you have like a lot of sheets to fix the sentences. Maybe the sentence, it lacks a comma. It lacks an apostrophe for I am. It lacks a period. It lacks an exclamation mark. It lacks a question mark, and so on. So this is how we start. We start with the familiar topics. Start with what they know to build the new. Again, start with what they know to build the new. This is how it works for kindergarten and primary stage. طيب, how can I handle the pronouns confusion? The pronoun confusion دي, it's not only about the young learners, it's also for the beginners and the adults. It's يعني a mess. How can we do that? Let me tell you something. At the very beginning in the kindergarten, we teach them what we call, when you only doing pronouns دي as a. We teach them the pronouns as,
Sight words.
again?
Sight words.
Excellent. Yes, more. That's amazing.
Different words.
Of course, Eduverse. Okay, so we teach them the pronouns as sight words. Why do we do that? Okay, let me ask you something off records. Why do we teach them sight words?
To ease the process of reading.
To ease the process of reading. Excellent,
To
yeah,
get
Miss Noor.
familiar with it.
Again, come again, yeah, Miss Wala.
To get familiar with it. To
Exactly.
be familiar with them.
Yes, and to be able to read them if they face any sight word in a sentence or in a
Right.
piece of reading.
Because simply the sight words, they call them sight words. We call them tricky words. We call them the high frequency words. Why do we teach them? To ease the process.
not to make confusing of pronunciation.
No, it's not only about the pronunciation, ya Miss Minna. They serve the purpose of reading more than pronunciation.
Yes.
Some of them pronunciation, of course, like come on some, they are
Small
not
step,
and
step
we-
to know the parts of speech. Or how to know how we know the subject.
No. In the kindergarten, when we teach the sight words or tricky words or the star words or the high frequency words, it's for the speed of the process of decoding. Okay, first of all, we teach them decoding. What is the meaning of decoding? It's connecting the phoneme with the grapheme, you know? When I see the l sound, I say l, okay? When I see a, when I see letter A, I say a. This is what we call decoding. Linking the grapheme with the phoneme. This is decoding. After that, what happens? After we study each group, we try to extract the essential sight words. Like, for example, in the group number 1 in Jolly Phonics SATIPN, we have I. Again, I. They learn I because they're gonna use it a lot in the class. Then I am Wafat. I need a pen. I have a sandwich. I have a banana. They will use it in their actual life in the class. So I is there. And then we have in. I-N. We have at. We have a. I have a pen. So they are learning a lot of sight words starting from the first group. Why? To ease and speed up the process of learning reading. If you notice any sentence in the English language, you're gonna find at least 70% of the sentence, they are sight words. Let me give you an example. Okay, let's give this. I, sight word. Go, sight word. To, sight word. School, also a sight word. So the full sentence, they are from sight words. One more. Every night, what happens? I see my mom. Every sight word, night is not. I, sight word. See is a sight word and mom is a sight word. So more than 70% of the sentences in the English language, they are composed of sight words. Why do we have a lot of sight words? Let me tell you something. All the pronouns, they are sight words. So they start learning the pronouns from the kindergarten. I, we, he, she, they, and it. And they use them in decoding sentences with the letters they learn. Like, I see a cat. It has a mat, or it is in a hat. Okay? So what's going on? It's not only about teaching them how to decode the letters, we are teaching them how to comprehend some sentences, simple ones. So it starts with phonics. Yes, it starts with phonics. Okay, yes, sight words. Okay, so how can we handle the pronouns? Let me tell you my way with the adults, but not the young learners. Never do it with the young learners because they won't understand it. But let me tell you a secret, but don't tell anyone. When I used to teach KG2, when I am teaching them the sight words concerning the pronouns, he, she, it, and so on, they have learned some of the pronouns in Arabic. كانت مثل العربي بتقول لهم ضمائر المتكلم أنا أتكلم أنا ونحن ضمائر المخاطب أنت وأنت أنتما وهكذا بتقعد تدرس لهم بالطريقة دي فأنا كنت بحضر كنت في طبيعة الحال you are a homeroom teacher you're staying there all the time and I attend all the sessions and it was very fun. So when it came to teaching them about the pronouns I asked the teacher of the Arabic to translate to them. Translate إن هو بمعناها he no. I'm giving them the kind of the pronoun. The one who talks يتقول ضمير المتكلم I and we. The first person. The one who talks first person I and we. Second person you. Again second person you. I speak you listen. So first person second person. Okay? Third person he or she or they. You got it? So I taught them the meanings of them. I am talking, we are talking together. We are talking to you. I am talking to you. We are talking about he and she and they. This is in KG. And they used to know them. In Arabic, I used to say it in Arabic because I don't have a teacher, an Arabic teacher in the class. I used to say, what are the kinds of pronouns in the Arabic language? They don't know. Then when I started elaborating them, it's easy, super duper easy. So whenever I have a rule, they get exposed to the text. And when I start explaining the rule, it's easy for them. Okay? Yes, yeah, Mr. Mahmoud, go ahead.
Yeah, regarding the Arabic and English, yes, if we
Yeah.
correlate the language, both language together, this can be easily to stick in their mind, right? If I use something, they use it in Arabic and then in English
It is.
at the same time.
It is.
It can
I-
be easy for them to stick the
It can
rule
be
in
easy,
their
but,
mind.
but let me tell you something. If you exaggerate in using this, okay, you will have a very bad effect. Okay, you will have a very bad effect on them. Okay, so what you need to do, you need to be careful when you're using first language, not all of the time, because the
But
human
it will be limited.
it will be limited. But let me tell you something. The human brain is very lazy. They will tend to translate every single word later on. You got it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. If you keep translating everything and relating everything to language one, it will be a disaster later on. So you need to be careful about that.
Okay.
Even when I say it for the adults in the beginner level, I keep saying them in English. So what are the kinds of the English the Arabic pronouns? They say they don't know. المتكلم, the one who talks, I say I and we. The addressee, the one I am talking to, is I do like this, they say you. So second person. You got it? I engage them in elaborating this and in explaining this. So it sticks to them in the English language, not the Arabic one. Just a second, please. Sorry, it's my bar. Okay, yes, Mr. May, you have another question?
No, but I teach them. I used to teach them the pronoun using a song,
Like?
song and and flashcards.
Great.
Yeah, it's like I for me, me, and I point to myself. He for a boy, and I point to a boy, and so on.
That's very nice. Okay, I used to use them like he is Ahmed. He is Ahmed. He is Ahmed. He is Ahmed. You are Muhammad. And I kept doing like this till they got how to use the pronouns in the right way. Miss Minna, you still have something?
Okay, if we have a confusing in object to pronouns and subject to
Yes.
pronouns.
You can use
When I
visual
teach a
charts.
when I teach a subject to pronouns, they understand it very well. But when I use object, it has very confusing. What can I do?
The object pronouns, you mean?
Yes.
Okay. You can use some charts. The charts, they help you. Get them exposed to the language first and then give them the chart to fill in the gaps. Matching games, the visuals, it helps a lot. A practical example, you can do like this. Create a chart with the column for he, she, they. Give students cut out sentences and the sentences. They need to have sentences so they can see all of them. And they have them to cut out and stick each one under the right category. Like this is subject pronoun, this is object pronouns. And you need to teach them. The subject pronoun, the one who does the action, or the one the sentence is about. And the object pronoun, the one who receives the action. I ate an apple. Who ate the apple? I do. Which received the action? The apple. So it's an object. You need to teach them what the meaning of object, actually, first of all. Okay? And they take it in higher levels, you know. Okay, so how can we apply the grammar rules? Through using real life contexts. It's essential to integrate their lives into the class. Like, for example, you are teaching them the present simple. If you notice, most of the course books, they have the daily routine, right? So a practical example, my diary. Ask a student to write about their day using the simple past or the present perfect. Highlight verbs and sentences and structures together. They will amaze you. Pair them so they can review with each other. Or you can ask them to write. Actually, let me tell you something. In the American schools, grammar is connected to writing. They don't have speaking. So they learn the grammar in order to write in the right way. They learned the kinds of sentences: simple sentence, compound sentence, complex sentences, the coordinating conjunctions, which are the femboys, for and but and so on, and the subordinating conjunctions that we use to connect two sentences to make it a complex sentence. Okay, they learn to write, so they can practice the grammar rule, apply the grammar rules in speaking. If you have a grammar lesson and you get them exposed to the language, you highlight the language, and then you ask them to tell you what is the form, how are the sentence, how is the sentence constructed. They will tell you, I am playing. So what do you know to say? I takes am, and then how is the verb? They will say ing. So they extracted the rule. So when I talk about something happening right now, what happens? I use I am, I or he or she or it, and we have verb to be. I am, he is or she is. And you count on your fingers like this. I am reading. Wafa is teaching. Shayma is listening. So what's going on? I'm using my fingers to give them the structure of the sentence, and it will make it very easy for them later on to use it. Okay? So let's move on to the next part, which is delivering grammar information to children. How can we do that? By using visuals and hands-on activities. Have we mentioned any kinds of hands-on activities so far today? You can tell me. Hello, wake up, don't sleep. Have we mentioned some hands-on activities concerning the grammar today? والله العظيم ده أنا هزعل وأجيب ناس تزعل. ما قلناش حاجة hands-on activities؟ Hello؟ لا، شيماء، محمود.
Miss, please repeat the question again.
Okay, have we mentioned hands-on activities, some activities that they can use their hands today? Have we mentioned? Have we mentioned
I
it?
think yes.
Yes, I think
Yes, yes.
hiding the flashcards in the class and tell them to find it and form the sentence. The musical chair اللي هو musical chair اللي احنا قلنا عليه ان هم
Exactly.
play a song, and then when I stop it, the one who's left without a chair, he will make a sentence or choose a card.
You forgot the hot potato, or using the ball. We do like this, and when they find they start making sentences. We have a lot of, or sorting the words. Yani, for example, in the kindergarten, in KG2, you can teach them the verb and the noun, and you get them a basket where they put the words in the right way. You can do the same for the pronunciation and spelling patterns. Get a basket. I used to get a basket. Here long A, here short A, and they sort them. But here is verbs, and here nouns. They do it. Here pronouns.
And also, well, for a or an, I used to divide the floor into two parts, and they jump. When I say the word, they jump on a or an.
Right article. Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. And you can make the hotspot. What is the meaning of hotspot? You get them, you write a sentence in the middle, on the floor, or you stick the flashcards, whatever you do, whatever you like. If you're allowed to write on the floor, go ahead. If you're allowed to make only some flashcards and stick them, you have a missing word, and you have your students, they have batches, they have words, stick to their charts, okay? And they start doing that, okay? A teacher. So what is the missing one? It's am. So the one who has am, he jumps into the right spot.
Yeah, it's a great idea, yes.
Yeah, amazing one.
Yes, I do this in plural S.
Yes, exactly. Can use plural and also the singular and so on. You can make it very easy. Let me give you an example. One of them is creating puzzles, where students match subjects with verbs to build sentences. You give them flashcards with a lot of words. Some of them are nouns, some of them are pronouns, and you ask them to make their own sentences. You are engaging their minds, and at the same time they're having fun, right? Okay. You can check their understanding with some CCQs. How can I check the CCQ? How can I make CCQs? What's the meaning of CCQs, Islam? Concept checking questions. Okay. Like concept checking questions. How can we get our students to, how can we make the sentences, the questions? They are simple questions with yes, no answers. or answering with one word. For example, if I'm teaching about the past, okay, guys, am I talking about something happening now or something before now? They will say something before now, and I show them the timeline. Why should I show them the timeline? Because, as I told you, you have a lot of learning styles. Some of them listen, some of them learn by what they see, right? So I show them the timeline. This is now, and this action is before now. So it's in the past. Is it finished? Yes, it's finished. And the timelines, it helps you, they help you a lot when it comes to teaching them the tenses. Okay? One more thing, which is addressing. Now we have done this. So, yes. So far, the session today, we started with how can we teach the grammar in the kindergarten? And then,
Why the grammar is very
What is
important for the
important?
kid.
yes, amazing. And we talked about addressing the lack of motivation. How can we motivate them? How can we address the different learning styles in the class? Okay.
Yes.
Yes, yeah, Miss Nihal, go ahead.
السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله.
حضرتك هتستغربي إني بتكلم بالعربي.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
أنا أخدت مع مس آية محمد كورس الفونكس والفوناتكس اللي هو المتقدم. أخدت الليفل المتقدم كمان معاها، فنصحتني إن أنا آخد جرامر مع حضرتك.
تمام. طيب
ف...
خليني اقول لك كورس الجرامر عندي ايه اللي هندرسه.
أيوه.
لو هو تمام بالنسبه لك واحتياجاتك هتشرفيني طبعا. كورس الجرامر عندي احنا بنبدا من البدايه خالص، كانك داخله
تمام.
مدرسه امريكان او مدرسه اي جي وبتتعلمي الجرامر فروم سكراتش. طيب ايه اللي بيميز الكورس؟ يعني احنا في الاول خالص بنبدا نتعلم البارتس اوف سبيتش، يعني ايه فيرب، يعني ايه ناون، يعني ايه سبجكت، يعني ايه اوبجكت. بنتعلم كل الحاجات دي، نتعلم يعني ايه انواع السنتنسز، السيمبل والكومباوند والكومبلكس، يعني ايه فريز، يعني ايه كلوز وانواعهم، وبناخد امثله عليهم.
تمام.
وفي نفس الوقت
تمام.
بتتعلمي ازاي تدرسيهم. يعني الكورس ده بعد ما
تمام.
بتاخديه ممكن تبداي تشتغلي في المدارس الامريكان على طول. ليه؟ لانه بيديكي جرامر، ما بيديكيش الليترشر، لان ما عندي يعني الكورس ما فيهوش ليترشر. في الجزئيه بتاعه الجرامر اللي موجوده في كل المدارس الانترناشونال موجوده عندي. تعلمي بدايه من يعني ايه ناون، انواع الكلمات، مرورا بالفريزز، الفراجمنتس، الكلوزز، السنتنسز، وبعدين بنوصل بقى الران اون سنتنسز بنعمل لها فيكسنج ازاي، السبجكت فيرب اجريمنت يعني ايه. حاجات كتيره جدا بتعلميها فروم سكراتش من الاول خالص، وبنمشي واحده واحده لحد ما بتوصلي ان انت الحمد لله فهمتي كل جزئيات
ممكن
الجرامر.
أسأل حضرتك حاجة في النقطة ديت؟ هو بيكون
بسرعه.
يعني أنا بس بسمع شرح ولا بيبقى engaging؟
engaging طبعا.
مهم.
انت
لا
حضرتي
مس وفاء
قبل كده؟
بتستخدم لعب. سيبيني ارد يا مس وفاء بعد
ودي
اذنك.
لسه شايفاك عجيب.
every time
مس
every time
وفاء،
لا
لا كل
every
حاجه
session is engaging
بناخدها
by the way لا
بنطبق عليها لعب كتير قوي في مواقع
أصل
كتير قوي.
أنا
ده غير
حضرت واحد
اصلا
بس
ان
أنا
احنا
كنت طول الوقت muted، أنا بسمع بس كلام 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 كلام،
no
فأنا
no no no
لا
because
خالص. احنا
this
على
is like
فكره
the
ما يميز من سيشن مس وفاء ان احنا على طول المايكس كلها اون، زي ما انت شايفه مستر محمود وانا ومس عبير
this is
كلنا
the
بنتكلم.
presentation because this is a presentation. This is a presentation, but in the input session, no, it will be engaging. Will give you a lot. والله you'll get a lot of things. يعني this
ربنا
is يعني عن تجربة والله.
ربنا يساعدك.
والله انتوا حلوين
بنمتحن
خالص.
على فكره
Thank
في
you so much.
كويزز وفي وورد وال وفي جيمز كتيره جدا بنلعبها طول الوقت علشان نطبق على كل الحاجات اللي احنا اخدناها يا مس مريم.
ايوه اساليني انا.
اه
مس
يا
عبير.
مس مريم، واكتر حاجه هتفيدك بقى كمان ان احنا بنتعلم ازاي نتيتش اصلا. يعني ايه، انا كنت اول مره اسمع عن حاجه اسمها فريم ورك. احنا بنتعلم ازاي نتيتش within الفريم ورك اللي احنا بندرسه مع ميس وفاء، وبنطبق عليه وبنعمل عليه برزنتيشن معاها عشان نعرف ايه المشكله عندنا في ده. يعني انا عملت برزنتيشن، ايه اللي ناقصني في البرزنتيشن بتاعي لحد ما
تمام.
بتحفظي. يعني انت اول ما تسمعي الكلمه في الاول كده بتتخضي في الاول زي ما حصل لنا. بعد كده كل مره كنا بنطبق، كل مره على اي درس بناخده لحد ما خلاص احنا بقينا فاهمين كل حاجه في الموضوع ده.
دي حقيقه. كل اللي بيدخل الكورس في اوله لما بنيجي ندي من اول فريم وركس نبدا نقول مصطلحاته، ايه بس وفاء ده صعب قوي، بعدين نرجع نقوله مره تانية ومره ثالثه ومره رابعه بتكرار التدريب.
خلاص خليكم معنا.
من فضلك يا مس، طب يعني تفاصيل الكورسز اللي هو يعني هيبقى للمبتدئين وعندك ادفانسد برضو ولا
هو بصي
هو
الكورس اللي كنت عاملاه في البدايه خالص طبعا حصل فيه تغييرات جذريه. كان في البدايه خالص معمول للبيجنرز بس، اللي هو بندي البارتس اوف سبيتش والتنسز وبس. لا احنا وسعناه بقى، بنبدا من اول بارتس اوف سبيتش وبندي التنسز وبندي زي ندرس كل الحاجات دي مرورا بكل الاسبكتس بتاعه الجرامر اللي موجوده في الامريكان سكولز او في الاي جي سكولز.
يعني انا طبعا عارفه ترجمه تلات ارباع اللي حضرتك بتقوليه النهارده، بس ممكن ما اعرفش ان انا اتكلم كده بطلاقه، فاهماني؟ لان انا ما درستش محادثه.
عادي، احنا لما بيبقى في حد عندنا قال ان هو مش فاهم كل الشرح بالانجلش، بنيجي في النهايه بنعمل سبب بالعربي فبتفهمي كل الحاجات واحده واحده. لو حاسه ان الدنيا هتبقى تقيله عليكي استني شويه.
لا انا ممكن اقول لها حاجه كمان يا مس وفاء. بصي هو على فكره يعني في الاول احنا كنا بنبقى شايفين كده، بعد كده على فكره كل ما انت بتتعرضي لانستراكتور يا مس وفاء بتعرف تجريد اللانجوج. يعني مس وفاء بتقدر توصل ان هي تبقى مخلياكي انت فاهمه هي بتقول ايه، فاهماني؟
تمام.
من كتر ما انت بتبقي متعرضه للي هي بتقوله انت نفسك بتبقي حابه تستخدمي نفس الوردز او الاكسبريشنز اللي هي بتستخدمها اصلا في الكلاس.
تمام.
طيب خليني كده الاول، احنا وعدناكم ان احنا هنقول موضوع الوورد وول وازاي ادور صح.
طب ممكن اعرف سعر الكورسز كام يا مس؟
هبعت لكم لينك الواتساب
Yes.
حالا اهو. ده لينك الواتساب للتواصل لو اي حد عايز يسال عن الكورس. خليني اعمل شير واقول لكم موضوع الوورد وول ازاي ادور على الحاجات اللي انا عاوزاها بطريقه سهله. طيب انا النهارده مثلا بدي الباست سمبل، بعمل كده باست سمبل وورد وول. طيب هعمل كده تيتشنج ريسورسز، هيطلع لي كميه ريسورسز رهيبه. بصوا كل ده، انا اعمل ايه بقى يا مس وفاء؟ انا هدخل على واحده واحده. مثلا ده مثلا جايب لي اهو ان انا بوصل الفيرب بالمكان المظبوط. ها my boyfriend me a beautiful jacket boy. the past of boy is bought. فنروح عاملين كده. ده عاجبني، يعني ده كويس ماشي مع اولادي، الاستراكشر بتاعه عاجبني وهيجيب نتيجه معاهم، هعمل كده. خليني بقى اقول لكم على حاجه حلوه قوي قوي انا بعملها. ساعات بيبقى الشكل بتاع الجيم كده مش عاجبني، هيبقى صعب على الاولاد. انا بحب اعمل لهم دايما ايه، آم... لا مش موجوده هنا، الجيم شو.
اه
عارفين الجيم شو؟
عارفاها بستخدمها
تحفه. الجيم شو دي
جدا
اكتر
جدا.
حاجه عشان فيها
بيحبوا جدا الراوند بتاعت البونص.
جدا، والمزيكا بتاعتها بتحس ان انت في منصه يربح المليون، فالولاد بيبقوا
صح.
اكتف جدا على الموضوع. طيب يعني انا ممكن يا مس وفاء، طب انا مش عاجبني ده، اعمل باك وشوف اللي بعده. ها اهو. امم مش عاجبني ده، ادور على جيم تانية. مش عاجبني، خش اللي بعده. اقول لكم على حاجه تريكايه
مش
حلوه، ما اعرفش
وفاء كمان I think we can edit the content نفسه. I think
كده
ان
بس
احنا
فكرت
ممكن نعمل
بقى في
editing
كيورد ممكن
للجيم نفسها.
تستخدمها تطلع لي الديتيلز كلها.
طيب ايوه
what
دي نسيت اصلا.
بسمع.
تعملي edit.
ممكن نعمل editing للجيم نفسها صح للcontent نفسه اللي جوه.
لا لازم يبقى لازم يبقى مدفوع. انا
امم
بتكلم على الفري، انا ما جربتوش مدفوع ولا مره، لان المدفوع الفري بتعملي بس 3 جيمز تقريبا، اكتر من 3 جيمز لا. انت
ده
بتعملي
حقيقي فري 3 جيمز بس بتكريتيهم بعد كده
ما بتعدليش
خلاص.
في الكونتنت يا مس آية. انت بتعملي ايه؟ بتختاري شكل الجيم، بيبقى فيه اشكال مختلفه للجيم. بس هقول لكم على حاجه حلوه انا بحب اعملها قوي، بعمل شير كده. لا مش عايزه اعمل شير، انا استنى لازم اعمل ساين ان الاول. بعمل سيت از ان اساينمنت، وسيت از ان اساينمنت ده انا مش عايزه اقول لكم بيجيب لك مين من الولاد اللي عمل التاسك وجاب درجه كام وغلطته ايه. فالموضوع ده حلو جدا.
حتى لو مش انا اللي عملت الجيم نفسها.
حتى لو بصي هوريكي حالا دلوقتي. بصي انا بعمل ايه من شير دي.
اه
بيقول لك شير بيج ولا سيت اساينمنت، اختاري سيت اساينمنت.
اوكي.
اختاري كوبي. بصي بقى انا لو بعت لك الجيم دي دلوقتي حالا كده
مهم.
اهو، لو بعت لك الجيم دي دلوقتي ودخلتي لعبتيها هيحصل ايه عندي؟ انا لما هدخل على ماي ريزلتس كده هوريكم حاجات بالفعل انا عاملاها كده. مثلا انا كنت بشتغل على الاوكسيلري اهو. بصوا، طب مطلع لي ان كان في كام طالب؟ 5. مين الاسرع؟ شيماء. درجاتهم ايه اهو؟ درجاتهم اهي 8 و8 و6. طب انا عايزه اشوف كل واحد
شبه الكويز
مم.
كده.
اهو درجاتهم اهي. الغلطات بتاعتها فين اهي، غلطاتها باينه عندي اهي، اختارت كذا مكان كذا. الريبورت بتاعه رائع.
دي معلومة.
الصوت بيقطع يا اسمع. المهم
انا اول مرة اعرف برضه ان وورد وول فيه كده.
ايوه بالظبط بيعرفوا.
تمام، المهم تكون عجبتك. تعالوا ندخل على كويزز بقى، واقول لكم على التريكايه الحلوه اللي انا اكتشفتها من قريب، بقالي مثلا شهر كده بشتغل بيها. عندكم كلنا عندنا تشات جي بي تي صح؟
اه
افتح شات جي بي تي واكتب له كده مثلا انا عاوزه مثلا عاوزه كويز عايزه مثلا كويز make a quiz make a quiz مثلا.
طيب هو بالنسبة لشات جي بي تي، علشان أنا مش عندي شات جي بي تي يا مس،
دي عادي.
أنزله ابلكيشن ولا أنزله مثلا ده، ولا خليني مثلا الموقع على السايت بتاعه وخلاص؟
لا مش لازم تنزليه على فكره، انا شغاله على السايت. مثلا ممكن اقول a 10 question quiz on past simple MCQs. خلاص ده كده البرومبت بتاعي، هعمله واحطه في شات جي بي تي، خلاص هيطلع لي الاسئله كلها كامله. هتاخدي الاسئله دي كامله وتحطيها في ملف وورد وتعملي سيف از بي دي اف. تاني هتكتبي البرومبت بتاعتك في تشات جي بي تي، تقول له اعمل لي مثلا 20 سؤال بالانجليزي عن الباست سمبل او عن البريزنت بيرفكت او عن السبجكت فيرب اجريمنت. اعمل لي 20 سؤال، اعمل لي 40 سؤال على حسب ما انت عايزه. هيعمل لك الاسئله، تاخديها كلها كوبي وتحطيها في وورد فايل. ماشي، عملتيها في وورد فايل سيفيه اس بي دي اف. طب ليه يا مس وفاء اللفه دي؟ هقول لك بقى. تروحي جايه هنا، احنا هنا اهو
اوكي
على كويزز، تعملي كرييت. بص بقى، انت عايز تعملي كرييت لايه؟ عايزه اعمل كرييت لاسسمنت مثلا اللي هو كويز. طيب هتعملي ايه؟ جنريت بالاي اي ولا كرييت فروم سكراتش ولا امبورت ورك شيتس؟ هتعملي امبورت للورك شيتس كده وتدخلي من عندك امبورت فروم ديفايس وتروحي مختاره مثلا. خليني اجيب لكم اي اسئله من اللي عندي. أم... اي فايل بقى، استني ما اجيب كده في برين بيست ليرنينج. خليني اكتب كده برين بيست. ده مثلا اهو practical ideas for encouraging developing. لا brain based. افتح يا سمسم search work on it. هيجي يختار لك الفايل اللي انت عاملاه سحر create، هيعمل لك الكويز اللي انت عاوزاه in no time اهو.
I used this before. If it's
amazing
hard, I can ask him, make it easy. It will be easy. Like,
اهو. عمل لي
yes.
الاسئله generate اهو. الاسئله اتعملت في no time. خلصت شغلي، بس لازم تراجعي ورا تشات جي بي تي وتراجعي ورا كويزز نفسه في الاجابات، لان ممكن يجيب لك حاجه غلط. بصي هيشتغل هيخلص، تدخلي دور. طيب انا يا مس وفاء مش فاضيه، لا هكتب لشات جي بي تي ولا فاضيه اصلا اعمل كويزات واحفظ ورقه والكلام اللي انت بتقوليه ده كله. حلو اهو، عمل لي الاسئله هي شفتوا باجاباتها
اه
باجاباتها.
حلو
تمام،
جدا.
اراجع عليه حلو زي الفل، اعمل له ببلش. في حاجه غلط بتعملي ايديت وتعدلي. حلو الكلام. طيب انا بقى يا مس وفاء مش فاضيه للكلام ده كله، ولا فاضيه اسال شات جي بي تي، ولا فاضيه اعمل اي حاجه خالص. يا اخي اعملي اهو present simple present and past forms مثلا. ابحثي باسم الدرس بتاعك ودوري بقى. امم
دي
اه ده
اسهل
كده
حاجة
ده
فعلا.
اكاديميك قوي. طب انا عايزه بس واحد اللي هو سهل يقول لي the best form of be is was and were. ده عاجبني؟ لا مش عاجبني. طب اشوف اللي بعده. اختاري بقى اللي انت عايزاه وتبعتيه لولادك. عارفين ازاي بتعملوه لايف وازاي تعملوه assignment؟
اه النقطة دي تمام. اه عارفين.
اللي
انا
هي
عارفاها.
play، من
بلاي
play على طول.
بلاي على طول، برافو. بلاي ناو اهو، ستارت ناو.
يس.
فبعت بقى له. بس خلي بالكم لازم تراجعوه كويس جدا، في بعض الاحيان بيجيب لك كويزات فيها لغه غير الانجليش.
امم
تمام، فخلي بالكم من الحته دي. تختاري بقى الجيم اللي انت عايزاها وتعملي ستارت وتبعتي للولاد اللينك. خلاص بدأنا الجيم. فدول موقعين من اكتر المواقع اللي هتحبوهم جدا وانتم ايه
طب
بتدرسوا.
يا مس، لو عايزة أعمل مثلا مايند ماب أو عايزة أعمل برزنتيشن بس برضك بسرعة، مش ما عنديش خلق إن أنا أقعد على الباوربوينت وكده،
خليني اقول لك، انا
إيه كانفا؟
برزنتيشن هتدخلي على موقع اسمه اي اس ال كولكتيف. ده بقى اكتبي كده اتخن برزنتيشن انت عايزاها اهو، الموقع اسمه كده. ادخلي اختاري البرزنتيشن اللي انت عايزاها، اكتبي على اي حاجه، عايزه ورك شيت، عايزه فيديو، عايزه باوربوينت، هتلاقي. لكن
ISL ولا
احنا
ESL؟
عايزين حد يحضر لنا
ايوه
الدرس.
ISL.
انا اي اس ال الجنريت، المواقع اللي بتعمل جنريت الباوربوينت ما ظبطتش معايا ولا مره بصراحه، حاولت اعملها لوحدي كده ما ظبطتش معايا. فانا بعمل ايه؟ ممكن اخد الكونتنت بتاعي، احط الافكار بتاعتي، اسجل في اسمه ايه ده، في الوورد، واعمل وورد فايل بكل الحاجات اللي انا عاوزاها، واروح جايه رافعاها للشات جي بي تي، اقول له مثلا اعملها لي انتو سلايدز، فهو يقسم لي الكونتنت على سلايدز، انا بقى اخد منه كوبي واحط في السلايدز بتاعتي واعمل الانيميشن بتاعي واظبط. بياخد
هو
مني
ده
مجهود
المدفوع يا
شويه،
مصطفى؟
بس بيبقى بمزاجي بالحاجه اللي انا عاوزاها. لكن ما اعرفش مواقع بتعمل جنريتنج، حاولت قبل كده ما ظبطش معايا.
هو ده تشات جي بي تي المدفوع يا مصطفى؟
لا
م-
مش بدفع والله. انا في حاجه واحده دافعه فيها، دافعه في الزوم، ودافعه في جرامرلي عشان الرايتنج.
م-
جرامرلي حلو قوي، لو انت بتكتبي اكاديميك بيفرق معاكي جدا، صلح لك الجمل وبيجيب لك الكولوكيشن المظبوط والكلمات المظبوط. هو ده اللي انا دافعه فيه بصراحه. لكن شات جي بي تي لا، ما جربتوش مدفوع. ولكن هو يحترم بصراحه، يعني المجاني عامل معانا شغل وما اثرش. ما جربتوش يا مس عفاف، ما جربتوش للاسف والله. طيب this is the end of today's session. اي حد عنده اي استفسار بالنسبه لموضوع الكورس بتاع الجرامر، انا هسيب لكم لينك الواتساب دلوقتي حالا في البتاع. احنا اخترنا بالفعل، احنا معانا ناس بالفعل مجاني، أنا عارفه احنا كورس الجرامر ده احنا بنعلن عنه بقالنا زمن. فاخترنا بالفعل. عايزين نختار دلوقتي، في حد انترستد ان هو ياخد معانا الكورس مجاني؟ yes or no؟
انا ممكن اعيده تاني عادي.
والله هو انا كنت كسبانه قبل كده من الكومبيتيشن بتاعت الفيسبوك.
وانا شخصيا يعني انا في اول سيشن لحضرتك، بس بجد نفسي اكون من المحظوظين مع حضرتك الحقيقه.
طيب ماشي، بس اللي هياخد الكورس يمتنعون، ها مش كل شويه بقى. خليني اقول لك، هقول لكم هديكوا ايه يا ولاد، طب نعمل كويز ولا نعمل ايه؟ كسبيني. طيب هقول لكم، هعمل لكم حاجه حلوه قوي، والله العظيم ما انا مزعلك. لحظه واحده. هعمل دلوقتي حالا فورم، اكتبوا اساميكم دلوقتي حالا، ماشي؟ وانا هعملها وورد وول برضو، هعملها ويل اوف نيمز، وهختار دلوقتي. خليكم
طب
معايا.
افرضي انا كسبت، اخش انهي كورس؟
اصبري بس معايا، انت كده كده معايا، انت خدتي واحد لسه وشغاله في التاني، عايز تاخدي تالت؟ اللانجوج بقى.
ايوه في تالت انت قلتي لي عليه لسه هتعمليه
اللانجوج فور تيتشرز ان شاء الله هيبدا مع اجازه نص
Yeah.
السنه.
ده
هنكسر.
هيكون عبارة عن ايه يا مصطفى؟ محادثة؟
لا احنا اعلنا عنه قبل كده، بس
جرامر
الكود بتاعتنا بس. هتكتبوا لي بس النيم بتاعكم يا ولاد، ماشي؟
في الشات بوكس
طيب
ولا
لا
هتبعت
لا لا،
لنا
هبعت
فورم؟
لكم فورم، لا في فورم عشان اخد الاسامي كلها.
اوكي.
تمام. responses. هعمل لينك تو ورك شيت كرييت ناو، هبعت لكم حالا questions بقى. هتكتبوا بس الاسم، اسم required، ونمسح ده اللينك ده. هبعت لكم دلوقتي بسم الله send link shorten copy. طب اتفضلوا حالا دلوقتي ادخلوا الأول ده
اللينك فين بقى؟
اهو. الفورم انا بعته خاص، جه المس اسماء، ثواني كده، في الميتنج جروب اهو اللينك.
على
ادخلوا سجلوا الاسم دلوقتي حالا، بعته على الشات بوكس. اللي انترستد ادخل سجل اسمك، وانا هاخد الاسماء دلوقتي هعملها في الويل اوف نيمز، وهختار 2 مجاني. احنا مختارين 3 على فكره قبل كده، ومعانا بالفعل جوه الجروب. الفورم بعته، مستنيه الانسرز.
هو النيم بس؟
النيم بس، انا مش عايزه منك غير النيم بس اهو. عندي
اوكي.
كده 10 بني ادمين، ها كملوا. اكتبوا اساميكم بالكامل، عشان لو في نور تانية هنتلخبط.
طب النت
انا
عندي
عارفه ان مفيش مريم مقبول غيري.
طيب اسم باباكي مميز جدا.
جدا.
والله
تخيلي بقى اختي اسمها دعاء.
ما شاء الله، دعاء مقبول، ما شاء الله لا قوة الا بالله.
هي جت الاول فهي خدت الاسم الحلو.
ما شاء الله عليها، ما شاء الله ما شاء الله. اجيب بقى ويل اوف نيمز اجهزها. ايه راندوم نيم بيكر، نمسح ده كده. مم. الأسامي كده وصلنا 31 32. ماشي حلو، لسه في ناس بتملي. خلاص هقفل الفورم. شيماء محمد تاني؟ هزاري؟ انت شيماء بتاعتي وعبير كمان؟
لا انا الشيماء حسين، انا كاتبه الشيماء حسين.
ماشي.
مميز اهو.
طيب خلاص كده خلاص. لا في امل، مش امل. ازيك يا مس امل، عامله ايه؟ طيب
ازيك يا مس وفاء، حضرتك عاملة ايه؟
الحمد لله تمام. ومس سمر؟ طيب كده بالظبط 37. ها لسه في حد؟ ها قفلوا 40. طيب خلاص، بص لحد كده. هاخد انا الاسامي كوبي كده، احطها.
انا مش عارفه أفتحها خالص بجد، مش عارفه، مش عايز افتح تقريبا، عندي نت ضعيف. حد يكتب لي اسم يا جماعه.
اسمك ايه؟
ايمان مهدلي.
ايمان.
ازيك يا مصطفى؟
ازيك يا مس ايمان، عامله ايه؟ مش محتاجه الا كورس يا ايمان.
الحمد لله. اي انا عايزه ابقى معاكي وخلاص. حبيبتي ربنا يكرمك.
طيب are you ready؟ خليني اعمل
Yes.
كتبت اسمك يا مس ايمان. استني بس ابص.
ريدي يا مس، بس بليز اختاريني. انا حبيت بصراحة السيشن
والله
مع
بقى
حضرتك.
هي النيم اوف الويل اوف نيمز، فانا مش انا اللي هختار. انتوا بقى وظروفكم. ليتس دو ات. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
بسم الله.
بسم الله. are you ready؟ بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. هنختار 3.
يا رب.
مش ممكن. لا لا، امل. امل هتاخدي.
ايوه.
امل مننا فينا يا امل. مننا فينا. خليني بس ابعت، انا عايزه.
بصراحة مس وفاء رهيبة رهيبة رهيبة، ما شاء الله عليها.
ربنا يا رب يسعد قلبك يا حبيبتي يا رب. استني بس كده ابعت سكرين شوت عشان الاسماء توصل على طول. طب كده لسه معانا 2. مبروك يا اموله. كده يلا.
هنشيل أمل بقى ولا هنخليها برضو؟
لا لا لا، مش هنشيل امل. لا هنشيلها طبعا، هنشيلها. مش هي اخدت خلاص؟
Yes.
هنشيل بقى امل كده. ريموف اهو. وندخل على التاني. مستعدين؟ بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا موسى. مين؟ ميس هناء انور. ميس هناء.
هي مش وفاء.
اللي هي ميس هناء عامله ايه؟
لسه مخلصة الحمد لله.
لسه
مخلصة
مخلصه
الكورس
معايا
مع
يور
حضرتك.
ليرنرز صح؟
ايوه اه. والشهادة لسه واصلاني يوم السبت.
طب الحمد لله، اتمنى يكون الكورس كان عاجبك.
لا فعلا، لا وبرجع له.
طب
برجع له كمان في حاجات. الحمد لله انا فرحانة جدا والله.
الحمد لله الحمد لله. كلنا ما شاء الله، كلنا مننا فينا يعني. ناس اخذت الكورس وناس
اه
كانت معايا في المنحه وشغاله معانا بالفعل.
الحمد لله الحمد
يلا
لله.
الثالث. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا جماعه ده راندم، انا ما بختارش، هو بيجي بظروفها. هو اللي بيختار. ياسمين دي بتاعتنا.
ايه ده بجد؟
ياسمين بتاعتنا والله برضو. طب والله العظيم راندم.
ده انا لسه هقول لك اسمي مش مكتوب. حاسه
والله
ان
العظيم يعني، سبحان الله العظيم، سبحان الله العظيم بجد
ثانك
والله.
يو ثانك يو صوفيا والله.
هاخد لك سكرين شوت سريع. طيب
ثانك يو مريم.
مبروك لأمل وياسمين ومس هناء كمان. ألف مبروك ليكم. إن شاء الله تشرفونا في الكورس إن شاء الله بإذن الله. إحنا هنبدأ يوم الخميس القادم بإذن الله. طيب لو أي حد بقى ما حلفوش الحظ إن هو إن هو يبقى معانا في المجاني، خليني أبعت لكم رقم الواتساب تواصل عليه. هو أصلا حضراتكم في الجروب أصلا كده كده. مبروك يا ياسمين، مبروك يا أمل، ومبروك يا
انهي جروب؟
يعني
انهي؟
لا هم ما خدوش معايا كورس الجرامر يا مس هناء والله. يعني ميس ياسمين تقريبا كانت في راوند 3 اللي هي من 2 اخده معايا كورس
اه في رمضان.
مفيش حد من اللي موجودين اخد معايا كورس الجرامر. اللي اخدت ميس امل، اصلا ميس امل حفني كانت معانا في منحه ايديوفيرس، ما خدتش معايا كورس خاص بيا. كانت معايا في منحه الكي جي. وميس مين تاني اللي اخد؟ امل وهناء لسه مخلصه اليونج ليرنرز بس ما حضرتش معايا الجرامر، فهم ما اخدوش سبحان الله. عارفه بقى كنت اقول لك كده امتى؟ لو كانت شيماء او مس عبير حد فيهم دخل، لان هم اخدوا معايا الاثنين. ان شاء الله
ما
تتعوض.
كنتش هتنازل على فكرة.
لما حد ان هو يشترك في الكورس بس يبعت على الجروب اللي انتوا فيها، ومستر احمد يتواصل معاكم بكل التفاصيل ان شاء الله باذن الله. هنبدا يوم الخميس الجاي الساعه 8 بتوقيت مصر، من 8 ل 10 هيبقى السيشنز حتى ثلاث وخميس من 8 ل 10. كده تمام، خلصنا. اتمنى السيشنز
Thank you.
تكون خفيفه على
Thank you, Miss
قلوبكم.
Wafاء.
سعدت بيكم جميعا، والسلام عليكم ورحمه الله.
تمام.